Alrighty fam, welcome back sexy souls to the Vortex Experience. Oh my god, I feel like it's been such a long time since I've said that. How are you? I'm so excited for today. It's going to be a short, sharp, punchy one. Just a preface, just to let you guys know, I'm feeling fucking spicy today. I'm feeling like a spicy mamacita. So if you are easily offended, I would recommend probably not listening to this because girl is feeling a bit rogue today, but that's what I said. Rogue, raw, and unfiltered as fuck, and we're delivering on that shit today. So hope you've had a beautiful time. I've fucking missed you. So the channeled message is, and I literally went to the bathroom before and I was like, what's a channel message of this podcast? And it's like, listen to the podcast. That's a channel message. Today we're going to be speaking all about boundaries. This has been a very big thing that I myself has gone through and what I help and support my clients go through. And I'm going to give you like a step-by-step process of like how to set a boundary, how to uphold the boundary. But most likely the reason why you're listening to this is because you've set boundaries and you've not then upheld those boundaries because the standard of holding the boundary has been shit. So it's not the fact that you don't know how to set the boundary. It's the fact that you can't hold the boundary because you're gaining something from not holding the boundary. So this is going to be a spicy conversation. I really want to speak into it because it's been very big in my awareness. And again, I have gone to new depths of my own boundaries. Now, this is not just with people. It's actually to do with everything in your life, how you do speak to yourself, how you don't speak to yourself, how you show up, how you don't show up, your yes and no list, how you talk to your family, how you talk to your friends, your business. Like, this is not just in a relationship dependent. It's actually to do with all areas, in all areas of life, even with the universe. Brother, I said what I said, and fucking let's deliver on the good, yeah? Like, I remember one day I spoke to my spirit guides. I was like, I'm not available for this anymore. No, guys, thanks. And ever since that day, it's fucking changed, okay? So the first thing we need to get clear on is like what you actually need, okay? And this comes from your own self-discovery, your own internal dialogue, your own internal compass. Now, I'm not going to go deep into that. I've literally got like 80 fucking something plus episodes on here around, discovering your truth and like going in your own fucking body and like figuring out what you are. Like, this is not specific for this podcast specifically, but go do that in your own time, okay? Once you've done that, do this and then filter through, because I'm not going to go deep into like your soul exploration today. It's going to be setting boundaries and how to keep them like a motherfucking standard high, because you, my friend, are allowing people to cross your boundaries and then you're blaming other people for crossing them. Fucking no, that's some wet slot behavior shit. And we're not doing that in 2025, okay? So number 2 is identifying the boundary. We want to get clear on what you're actually setting. So for example, for me, after going through a separation with a former partner at the beginning of this year, I said to myself, well, I'm not going to fucking quit on myself in the gym, because the gym has been something that I've been really working on creating a better relationship with. And I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. Fucking no. I had to parent myself. And this is the thing with boundaries. It's actually coming back to the parent. You have to parent yourself sometimes, babe. And I've been going through a new iteration of that shit. I've been like fucking Debbie. For those that don't know, that's my mum's name. Debbie. Now you know my mum's name. Debbie and Darren. My dad's name's Darren. Hey, Dad, if you're listening to the podcast, probably never listen to the podcast, but hey, if you're listening, I had to full Debbie my ass. I was like, I'm dobbing my Debbie, right? I'm like, bang, bang, bang. I need to be on top of my shit. Okay. So that is what I got really clear on. I got clear on the boundary, because the thing is, with boundaries, they need to be upheld. Like I said, there's a standard that needs to be created throughout time and time. So when I went through that separation, like I mentioned, I then was able to recognize, okay, what are my new standards? What are my new boundaries? Not with other people, but with myself. That's the problem. A lot of people set boundaries with other people, but then they wonder why they're still getting crossed, because they're not fucking setting their own boundaries themselves. Bro, like literally make it make sense, bro. Like, it doesn't make sense in that way. Okay. So I said to myself, Claudia, I love you, babe, but you are not skipping the gym anymore. I don't give a fuck what you say. You're not. You're going to the gym. You book it on ClassPass, you fucking go. And I have every single time, because I had that standard, I had that boundary. I had that boundary with myself, and then I have enough self-belief and self-trust and confidence to uphold that standard within the boundary, okay? So whether it be, no gossiping or no scrolling, whatever it be, right? Whatever it may be. It needs to be clear as fuck. If it's vague, there's room for incongruencies. There's room for inconspicuous. You get what I mean? You pick it up and put it down. There's room for flow, and there's room for, what's the word? There's room for interpretation. Okay, with boundaries, they cannot be fucking interpretive. They have to be clear. And if they are not clear, they're not going to be upheld. Easy said, okay? Full stop, done. Know why it matters. Why does this boundary matter? For me, for example, going to the gym, the boundary mattered because I was putting on weight. I wasn't feeling fucking confident. I was eating shit. I was not healthy. I was not unhealthy, but I wasn't healthy. I was in like a very comfort zone level. I wasn't pushing myself. My mental health went to shit. I wasn't energized. I wasn't excited. Like I didn't have any mental clarity or mental toughness because of that boundary being pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. Because I would go to the gym for a few days a week and then I would go off the week after because of my period or whatever I wanted to fucking blame at the time. Okay. I noticed that was a huge pattern and it was really delaying the goals that I want. So I put the boundary in place. So I got really fucking clear. I knew why it's important because of the mental toughness, the clarity, the wellness being, like the clarity that I have in my mind. When I work out, I eat better as a default, right? Because I feel better. I'm more energized. I'm more happy. I'm more vibrant. I feel better. So that is why. If it's not why, if the why is not deep enough, you're probably not going to fucking uphold the boundary. Let's be honest. So you need to ask yourself why a few times, at least 5 to 7, they say. 5 to 7 times you get to the real fucking root cause, okay? The root answer. Communicate it clearly. Now, I said to my friends, only to one friend, I didn't need to say it to many people because I knew that I can do this myself, okay? But if you're new to setting boundaries and holding the boundaries with that standard, I would recommend absolutely communicating that with someone around you. I just said, you know, I'm going to the gym now, end of story, full stop. That's what I said. And she said, okay, cool. Like, and my great housemate said to me, oh, when are you going to the gym? And he would just ask me how I'm going with that. So it was fucking handy having someone in my house. Now that I didn't have a partner riding my ass, I had someone in my house being like, oh, how was the gym today? I'm not going to say, oh, I didn't go because I felt like I fucking didn't feel like it. No, that's not how I play the game anymore. Fuck that shit. So now we need to hold that. Okay, if I decide to go to bed at fucking 12 midnight, I have to get up at 4. I decided to stay awake, so I still uphold the boundary. Okay, and I have to learn that if I didn't hold that boundary, or I would have broke that boundary, but I have to learn if I decide to stay up until 12, I have to get up at 4. There's no if, ands, or buts. There's too much interpretive. There's too much excusing behavior, and there's too much bartering. If you are bartering with yourself, you fucking lost, babes. Stop bartering with yourself. Literally, it's so easy. Get the fuck up and go to the gym. Like, it's not even hard. Put your fucking clothes out on the ground the night before. Get everything organized. Get your banana. Get your fucking water. Just go. Wake up. Turn your brain off and get it done. The same thing when you're holding yourself to a higher standard with boundaries. Hold the boundary, because people may come in and start to test and move and budge on it, but you need to hold that without guilt. Know why it's important to you. Now, people will only benefit off your boundaries if people will only have something to say about your boundaries if they've benefited off them. People will only say shit when you set a boundary if it benefits them. I'm going to say that again. People will only say something and only have a problem when you set a boundary if it benefits them. Fucking, right? So really strip it back. If they have a problem with the boundary, end. So, now there's definitely a way, I'm going to go into the nuance of this. There's definitely a way to communicate the boundary with firm, calm love, right? You don't have to be cunty, but like be firm and communicate, hey, this is a boundary for me. XYZ, done. See ya, finito. Holding it without guilt, no one is making you feel guilty, you're making yourself feel guilty. People go, oh, I feel bad. Why? Like actually ask yourself why. Why do you feel guilty for upholding something that's going to benefit you? And if it benefits you, it's going to somehow benefit the other person, whether they have to grow, they have to look at their own shit, or it's going to make them see things in a different way, actually hold people to the boundary and allow them to expand on what's in it for them. It's not a bad thing. Like, fuck, I seen a quote a little while ago. It was like, what was it? Damn. No well-behaved women made history. Again, a mic drop. I'm going to drop this fucking little road mic here, okay? And then you need to reflect and adjust if needed. Okay, I get it. Sometimes, boundaries can feel hard and like they feel really rough to set. But at the end of the day, it's either you're going to allow people to treat you like shit and you're allowing that. I don't have any sympathy for you. Like, genuinely. I remember I spoke to a client. I said to her, it's pretty savage to say, by the way. That's when you hire someone that's great at what they do. They don't just tell you what you want to hear. They tell you what you need to hear. That's the fucking difference. She said, blah, 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 said so-and-so. Anyways, going into a story, I'm not going to obviously disclose anything, but what she did say, she said, he crossed the boundary. And I said, okay, so you let him. And she looked at me. And I had to hold it. I held that. And she was like, oh my God, I let him cross my boundary. Yes, bitch, you did. And honestly, it was a fucking huge moment in her life. She was like, oh my God, that's why all these people with boundaries have come to me, because they're teaching me how to hold the boundaries. That's why they keep testing my fucking boundaries, because I'm not holding them to the standard of fucking actually holding the boundary. Like, setting a boundary is one thing, holding them to the standard of being upheld is another thing. End of story. Learning how to hold that is the best thing you can ever do. And she looked at me, she said, she started crying. She said, Claudia, oh my God, I've never realized that. I was like, yeah, because I was the same. I would set boundaries. You can't speak to me like this. I'm not accepting this behavior, or Claudia, do better, whatever, right? And then I wouldn't uphold that standard. And I wondered why I was getting the same result. And I wondered why people never really shifted their behavior towards me, because I didn't shift my own behavior. Like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. It's the same thing with boundaries. It's the same thing with standards. So reflect on what needs to be shifted and have clear communication. Remember, the people that will only say shit about a boundary when you put it in place and you hold the standard of it is people that are benefiting from it. That's it. End of story. And when this beautiful client realized that she was actually crossing her own boundary, but that person was just the reflection of her own boundaries being crossed in an external reality that she's internally created for herself to actually overcome externally for an internal change, your whole life will fucking change. Now, look, I know that may have been a bit of a head fuck, but like, I trust this is going to land. Okay? I trust this is going to land, because just listen to it again. If you have to go back, because I'm spitting bars today, guys. I'm spitting bars. I want to know, what boundaries have you set and uphold? Please message me on Instagram. It's just Claudia Compton, like the place in America. I am so excited for this, because setting boundaries is one of the best things you can do with others, with yourself, with the universe, just in life in general, because you're telling what you are not fucking available for anymore. Vibrating at a frequency of 500, but you expect everything to come to you. It's not going to dip to you. You need to rise to it. Everything that you want in your life, you have to fucking rise to it, babes. You can't expect it to dip. It's not going to dip. It's not going to dip. And I can make it dip, make it dip, make it dip. You know that song? Tiger? Wow. Honestly, it's not going to dip. So the more that you can actually comprehend, okay, great. If I get to rise to this new level, what is no longer going to be there with me? I write a yes and no list all the fucking time. A no list of what I'm not doing anymore, and a yes list. Yes of what I'm doing and no of what I'm not. No complaining, no bullshit, no excuses, no snoozing my alarms, no missing the gym. Like, I've got a clear list. Do you know why? Because I recognize that I was letting things slip. And I'm a pretty disciplined, confident person. I've built myself in that way over time. So when I realized that there was little slips of excuses, or, talking less doing, like those little micro things really compounded to me not going to the gym. Like I said, where I had to look at my boundaries and go, babes, you are a hot mess right now. We need to go build you up from the ground up right now. This new level needs some new things. So I looked at it. Okay, great. No list, yes list. Yes. When I feel the fear, I'm doing it. That's a yes. Okay? There's a lot of other things on my yes list. Actually, I might get some up. I might get it up since it's on my laptop right now. Yes list. I pinned it at the top. Yes list. Do things out of my comfort zone. Complete my 90-day commitment. What else is there? The 4 Agreements. Oh my God, if you haven't read that book, please do it. It's the best book you'll fucking read, and it's so simple, it's easy, it's efficient, it's fucking amazing. The 4 Agreements are: be impeccable with your word, don't take things personally, don't make assumptions, and always try your best. I live by that shit. Be proactive and solution orientated. No exacerbating the problem, bitch. It's going to only exacerbate the problem, okay? You know, it's like the quote. It's like the quote where my brain literally stops mid-sentence and I cannot remember the quote. The quote is, where attention goes, energy flows. If you only focus on the problem and being a drama queen, you're only going to get more drama queen and you're only going to get more problems, baby. Like, we need to look at this shit logically. If you could take a moment and look at your life and look, okay, where does this make sense? Logically, no emotion attached, none. No one's going to get angry at you. No one's going to get mad. No one's going to get upset. Don't take it personally. Just look at your life logically. And where does it make fucking sense for the results that you got? Oh my God, spitting bars today. Spitting fucking bars. Channeling hardcore, right? Like, where does it make sense, babe? Where does it make fucking sense, sexy soul? Come on. Come on now. Come on. You can't just cry and say, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. No, baby. It makes perfect sense. If you're scrolling on your phone and you're letting people treat you like shit and you're not expecting more of yourself, it makes sense. It makes sense because you're not holding yourself to that standard. You haven't set boundaries with yourself, because the better boundaries you set with yourself, right? The more clear, firm, concise and clear boundaries you set with yourself, you watch the whole fucking universe change and reflect that back to you. I cannot even explain how much my life has changed by just setting some tiny boundaries, getting clear on my yes and no list, getting clear on my boundaries and holding them with that new standard. Everything's fucking flowing. And this also goes into mindset, right? If you're working on being more proactive with your mindset, whether not feeding into limiting beliefs, you need to stop yourself and say, oh, I'm not feeding into that. Go away. Thank you for coming here. I appreciate you. You're teaching me something. I'm going to keep going. I seen a TikTok the other day. She's like, you know, you can still do things even though you have doubt, right? And she just said it in a way. Fuck, I can't remember her name. Damn. She has pink hair on TikTok and she's amazing. Florence, I think. Florence something. Anyway. And the way that she explained this concept, I didn't even know, it just landed so differently. Like, I've heard people say that before and it's not new news, but when she explained this, she said, Claudia, she spoke to my soul. She said my name. No, she's like, you know, you can still do things even with that, like, a voice in the background saying you can't. And it's the same thing when a mentor said to me, you know, you can still do things even when you're tired. Like, yeah, duh, but it just fucking landed. Right? I remember I said that to one of my clients the other day. I was like, just because you're tired, babe, I appreciate it. But, you know, what's your scrolling time? How's your water? How's your recovery? How's your sleep? Like, let's look at the tangible, logical experiences. Let's not make it mean something cray, right? How are you taking care of your human logically? And then let's look at the fact that you can still do things even when you're tired. And she said, fucking wow. I was like, yep, that's why you pay me, doll. But when you can look at life with more logic, less reactivity and less eruption of emotions, and more grounded, calm, level playing field logic, it actually becomes a lot easier. It becomes a lot easier. I know that's a lot more of a masculine stance to look at, but your best thinking got you to where you are today. Your best thinking got you to where you are today. So unless we were to look at how you're looking through life and how you're filtering through life, if you're filtering through life on an eruption of energy and you're spiking cortisol and you're fucking dysregulated and you don't know what you're doing and you've got fucked systems and you don't have any kind of strategy or any kind of structure and you're just chaotic, well, yeah, logic is the next logical thing to implement into your life. Because then you can look at things as to how they are, not for what they feel or not for what your emotions are telling you to look at them like. Logic, baby. Logic. So when you look at a boundary, you uphold that boundary as logic. This is how I'm being treated. Moving forward. The end of story. Full fucking stop. End of sentence. Change the page. Remember, people will only have shit to say about your boundary if they were actually getting something from crossing it. Right? So remember, just a little recap. Get clear on what you need, okay? From yourself and others. More so yourself. Because I believe if you hold boundaries with yourself, other people will unconsciously and energetically feel the boundaries. People don't need to say things to me for my boundaries. They fucking feel my boundaries. That's all I gotta say. They're like, we're not fucking with Claudia. And if they do, well, then I will speak my boundary because I hold myself to a high standard. I hold myself to a boundary. I uphold those boundaries to a standard, right? So really look at when someone holds themselves and they walk in the room, you can tell if they've got weak boundaries within themselves and you can tell when they've got strong boundaries. Which one do you want to be? Very simple answer, to me at least. What about to you? Although you're still allowing yourself to be that wet sock boundary implementer. Okay. You can feel someone's presence and you can feel someone's boundary and you can feel someone's integrity and you can feel someone's confidence as soon as they walk in the room. You're like, oh, there's something here. It's because they're sure with themselves. If you feel unsure and unconfident and insecure, it's because you lack boundaries. You're just lacking standards. And that's so fine because I did too. Not too long ago, right? Literally at the beginning of the year, I had really bad boundaries with myself. I needed to build up, right? It's a building process. Rome doesn't take one day. It takes a little while to build, okay? The best thing you can do is implement self-boundaries. Work on yourself first. Stop pushing them out to other people around. You need to treat me like this. But then you're still scrolling, eating shit on fucking the lounge half the day. You're treating your body like shit. You're not being nice to yourself. You're comparing. You're doubting your abilities. You're letting perfectionism get in the way. You're doubting your skill set. But you want other people to conform to your lack of boundaries. It's not going to happen. Like, end of story. It's not going to happen. How can you expect someone to uphold something that you don't even possess within yourself? I told you, fiery day. Wow. Right? Queen's ovulating. She's extra spicy. Okay? So get clear on what you need from yourself first. And that will internally change your external reality. Identify the boundary, get clear on what it is. Crystal as fuck. Know why it's important. Why is it important for you to have this? Very simple question. When you're clear on it. Communicate it clearly, whether that be to yourself or other people. For me, I said, Claudia, you are going to the gym. Every time you book on ClassPass, you're going. It's very clear. Clear. When it's in the calendar, I'm fucking going, okay? Hold it firmly without guilt. Now, this is obviously interpretive too if you have people around. But no one worth having in your life will make you feel bad having a boundary. And fun fact, no one can actually make you feel bad. It's up to you. Oh, again, spitting bars. Reflect and adjust if needed after you've created that boundary. Okay? So we've gone through how to set a boundary, why boundaries are important, and holding them to the standard. My little spiel on boundaries and my little spicy mamacita enchilada moment on boundaries and why it's important to have them and how it's directly correlated to the life that you do desire and what you're ready to release. Because the boundaries and the standards, the habits, the mindset, all those things, your best thinking got you to where you are today. If you desire to change these, I don't see people talking about boundaries on social media. I see people talking about what would your higher self do and how would she show up, which I do that, right? I fucking do that all the time. But my higher self has clear boundaries, bitch. Crystal fucking clear boundaries. So crystal clear, she can see a reflection and she can do a fucking lip liner. So clear. Okay? Because that's what my higher self would do. Rather than being like, she's positive and she's abundant and she's grateful. Yes, that. And where are her boundaries at? They're probably fucking high and they're upheld and they're crystal clear and they're communicated and they're felt. Okay? They're felt. They're a felt experience when they're communicated within herself, because they've unconsciously and energetically, externally perceived from her internal reality. People will feel when you have boundaries or not. So let's create them, get clear on them, implement it, and then have your best fucking life follow, because the boundaries will literally is a gateway to what you want, I believe. Boundary with self, boundary with others, boundary with life, baby. So that is all for this episode on the Vortex Experience. I have fucking enjoyed this. Spitting bars, having fun with you guys. So if you did enjoy this podcast, I would love if you could write a review, leave 5 stars, and message me on Instagram. Everything is linked in the show notes below. I want to know if there's any other things I can support you with, whether it be setting boundaries or growing your business or having hard conversations, like how you can actually bring that up to someone tangibly will be very powerful for you. So if you have any questions on that, please message me. Let me know what you got from this episode. I want to hear all the takeaways, screenshot it and put it on your stories, tag me. I would love, love, love to show the magic and showcase the magic, because I believe that when people really tap into their personal power, their true innate gifts, is because they've set the boundaries to get there. So I love you. Have a beautiful time. I'll speak to you next week, and have a beautiful day setting boundaries, baby. Bye.